Yo, it's Jumpman T with Twisted Torch TV here with the mad scientist, Mad Mike himself, AFN affiliate. We got a great show today, a little lunch break show to discuss some good topics. So, y'all go ahead and come on in, wipe your feet, make sure you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button to all channels, AFN, all affiliates. Hit that like button and subscribe to the channels. But, Mike, we got some crazy stuff going on, man. We saw in the league they said they're going to have it to where it's 17 games. They discussed this for the past 2 or 3 years, so we're finally getting a chance to see an extra game. I don't know how you feel about adding an extra game as far as our players, but I'm gonna just state my opinion real fast. I know it's gonna be tough, man, especially dealing with Julio Jones. The way we have to deal with these injuries, we're gonna have to make sure that we prep them to where they don't do as much playing time throughout each game. You know what I mean? Because 17 games can stretch it. If we're gonna be honest, including the playoffs, including preseason, that's a lot of games, man. But that's a chance for the young players to work on their film and get a chance to show, the fans what they really can do. So how do you feel about that?
I'm being real. I don't like it at all. I think it's the dumbest shit I've ever said. Excuse my language, but I think it's the dumbest thing that we're talking. Like, that's the dumbest decision they've ever made. And it's like this for me. The owners are pretty much stating like, we don't give a dang about your health. Like, we sit up here and talk about concussion protocols and all this type of crap, but we all know that most of the NFL players never play in the preseason to begin with. Mm-hmm. And you want to take away special teams, but you want to add more violence to you want to take away. You want to give. Let's just say it like this. A lot of people probably it might go over a lot of people here when I say this, but it's like you having a gun, man. Everybody want to take away certain parts of a gun. Everybody want to take this away, but you still got bullets, you still got this, and you still got this. You'll take away an AK, but you still got a 9. You'll take away a 9, but you still got the 22. You know what I'm saying? It's like you want to take away certain things, but the gun is still a problem. It's still a gun. It still shoots the same way. It still is a gun. It still hurts. It still burns. All right. And that's the thing with that's the thing with the NFL. You want to take away the violence away from the game, but you want to give them an extra game. Like, what the hell? What kind of freaking sense that makes? They don't play in the preseason. Matt Ryan never plays in the preseason. But you want to talk about injuries and protocol? How many interviews that we've done where I've seen Johnny Abraham on live, all right, Facebook Live, crying in tears because of CTE has gotten them to a point where he can't control himself. We just had a conversation with Terrence Mathis where he was saying like Chris Chandler is struggling because of CTE. And you motherfuckers want to give an extra game? Excuse my language. You trying to give an extra game to these guys? They don't play. They already don't play in preseason. You cannot tell me this is good for the players.
They don't like it.
You are enticing these guys with money. That's why I say, man, it's like you look. I'll say it like this, and I'm gonna end it on this, but it's like, certain people are driven by money. They will do anything about that dollar. When they come down, they will sell their soul. They will sell their mama. They'll sell their sister, cousin, brother. It don't matter what it is. They will sell their soul to get that dollar. And you got these owners that's dangling. Here you go. I know you want it. Here you go. I know you want this moment. Like this. That's what they're doing with these people. The player's not even thinking about what happens after their career. Like Chris Chandler can't he's struggling. We heard Terrence Mathis say this. Mm-hmm. How many junior Seau's gonna have to die before we talk about money like this 17th game? So I hate it. I absolutely I think it's despicable. I think the owner should be they should be ashamed of themselves, and this has nothing to do with quality, trying to keep the game safe. No, you trying to pad your fucking pockets. That's what you worried about.
Yeah, I think it's based on the COVID situation too, since the money had to go down as far as the cap, but they're not looking at the player standpoint, man. Like it's already tough for players to play a full 16 game season and give us their best attributes on the field day in and day out. You already have it to where players don't practice maybe 2 or 3 times a week compared to the 5 days they're supposed to. Like it just becomes a tough situation as far as the players, man. And I know they feel a certain type of way, but they're like, well, we need the money too because they pretty much everybody's taking 1-year deals. Then they're not even worried about what's gonna happen next year as far as if they get hurt. That's what the teams look for. Oh well, you're damn as good. We can't pay you that big amount of money.
We'll pay the next time.
Yeah. And then you miss out on that contract. That's not fair to the players, man. And for the owners to choose to do that, that shows me something because they had a tough time trying to do this for 5-6 years. They've been trying to change this rule. So it just magically came up to where, okay, we're gonna finally do it this year, knowing that we don't even know if players are gonna be able to play every game based on COVID. So that's an issue I have myself because I know for the Falcons we had maybe 5 or 6 players that had COVID throughout the year. They missed games, and if you get COVID, you gotta miss 2 weeks. So like all this comes into play. That comes into play to where they're messing up guys' money, man. I don't like that at all as far as the standpoint of the NFL. I think it's beneficial for the fans that just enjoy watching football an extra week. But I mean, we was gonna have a wild card the next week anyway.
Right? Come on, man.
They're just trying to stretch the product, man. And I hope that it doesn't lead us to a struggling NFL season this year. That's my only concern. I know they want to do it to where they end the 8-8 thing with teams because they're still in 8-8 for 3 years. The Cowboys did it before, so I know they're trying to end that. But what's really one game? If you go 8-8, you just go 8-8. It wasn't meant to be.
Right.
I mean, being honest, it wasn't meant to be. You've already added an extra slot for the playoffs.
Does 8-9 even sound right? 8-9 and 9-8, man, that don't even sound right, bro. Like
that doesn't sound ugly. Somebody just said it. I got 9 and 8. 8, 9, 9 and 8. Like that's crazy, bro. I don't know that doesn't look good regardless. For us to pretend.
It doesn't look good at all.
But I ain't get a chance to get into this with you, man. So how do you feel about who do you think the opponent will be for the London game?
I hope it's the Saints. I want them to experience because we got guys the Falcons UK. You guys can check them out on YouTube. Great guys, and they're great Atlanta Falcons fans. Like I want them to experience what it's like to go to a Saints and Falcons. Like that's our rival, man. Like that's our rival. So I would like that. I would like for it to be the Saints because I want them to get the full experience of what the NFL is. And it's like the hated Cowboys against the Niners, Eagles, Cowboys. Like I want them to experience what football is truly about. That's all about your rival, man. So I would like for it to be the Saints.
Yeah, I'm thinking we're gonna end up playing the first pick in the draft, Mr. Trevor Lawrence. I'm thinking that's who because they just added them to our schedule, so I'm feeling like that's going to be our London game. The Jaguars play in London a lot as it is. They play I want to say like 2 or 3 times since they started the London game, and we can't forget what happened the last time we went to London.
Yeah. Yeah.
We had a lot of fans out there in London too. The fans enjoyed the Falcons, and that was in a down year. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just imagining how they're gonna be seeing Julio and Calvin Ridley and Matt Ryan slinging the ball to them throughout the game. And if we get that next juggernaut for 10 years down the line at pick 4, I don't know if we're gonna do that. If that happens, Say bye-bye. Say bye-bye to anybody stopping us. I don't see it. Because that guy is dynamic. He's a dynamic.
Right. Hey man, I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna say it again. I don't know if you're getting into it, but I'm having a hard time. I'm having a hard time ignoring Kyle Pitts. Like I was just the more that I think about it, man, it's just one of those players when you look at the Falcons and the team. No, we don't need a tight end, but I always say this: when there's one player in the draft that it's like a woman, like when you got when it's just that special someone that you just can't keep your eye off. You know, she got the right moves. She know how to talk to you. She know how to move. Like everything is just perfect. You know what I'm saying? You just can't stop thinking about it. Like that's the way I feel about Kyle Pitts right now. The way he moves, the way he look, the way what he's saying, like, bro, like, look, I am in love with Kyle Pitts right now. I'm not afraid to say the dude is just special. He is special. Period. Point blank. And that's something you cannot deny. When you look at this guy, you see how he's 6'6", goes up and snag the ball out of people's hand. The dude route is so crisp for a guy that size. I cannot stop thinking about Pitts and what he will have next to him if he consistently lining up in the slot with Julio and Calvin Ridley. I'm just thinking to myself, like, what are you gonna do as a defense? Who are you gonna guard?
I don't know, like, man. That's a tough one, man.
Get out of my mind.
I'm not even gonna lie. They stated the other day that at his workout he had better measurements than Calvin Johnson. Like how is his wingspan larger than Calvin Johnson? That is crazy. And like you said with his routes, one route you don't see tight ends run a lot is when they go in and cut back out. That means he has good hips. He's able to get in and out of his routes like that. That's a sign for me. He's a mismatch for anybody. I'm just remembering how Antonio Gates was when he first came in, and how Jimmy Gates
and Tony D. You was thinking exactly what I was thinking. Yep.
Mismatches, man. I remember we couldn't stop them jokers to save our lives. Jimmy Graham scored twice on us each time he played us.
Right.
And when you get Pitts in the fold, you can let Julio take more breaks. You can let Calvin really take more breaks. We don't got to worry about Calvin really going to the slot. We got Pitts. I'm putting Pitts in the slot every time. And I know you remember that. I know you remember the soundbite Matt Ryan did to Roddy one day. He was like, "Man, it's just so easy to get open in the slot. That's what he all the time. It's not fair."
Right. It's unfair. And we forgetting a key guy. Also, we haven't seen the best of him, and that's Hayden Hurst. So it's just, I'm just thinking to myself, like, what are you gonna do as a defense? Like the thought of it, and I think not Kyle Shanahan. Good gracious, even if we had Kyle Shanahan would have a damn wet dream with the weapons on this offense. Like this dude, you see what he did when we just had. Julio. We didn't have a Calvin really. This picture of Kyle Shanahan with this many weapons, man, like this man wouldn't know what to do with it. So having this Hayden Hurst in the slot and you got a linebacker on him consistently or a smaller DB, that's just unfair, man. It's just unfair. It's unfair. And Shannon Sharp is the one who said that. Shannon Sharp was like, "Yeah, you can. If the Falcons get Pitts, it's lights out." That came from Shannon Sharp. He's like, "Okay, no, that's not unreal." So if the Falcons end up getting him, man, I'm all for drafting a defensive player or offensive lineman, but like that's going to be a major problem trying to stop this team, man.
Hey, Hey, listen, man. I'm just thinking of how Florida used him, and he had an average Joe throwing him the ball. Imagine what Matt Ryan gonna do. Matt Ryan loves tight ends, man. If he
Ooh,
get, oh my God, you might well lock me in. You might well lock me in, bro. And Matt Ryan doesn't go over 35 touchdowns like that. If he gets Kyle
right.
Pitts, he might throw 40 touchdowns easily.
Just throw it up. Just throw it up. He'll go get it.
Easily.
That's what I love most about his game. Just like you just
Mm-hmm.
throw it in his vicinity, his wingspan is so far. Like even if the DB gets into his body, his arms are long enough where he can snatch the ball and get to the ball before he gets to him, and that draws penalties.
Mm-hmm.
That like you look anybody who's played the game that know if you have a big body guy, it ain't nothing you can do besides foul him and get a penalty. It's like trying to guard Shaq.
I was in for the yeah.
Shaq is 7'2", 7'2". Like it doesn't matter. Just throw the ball in the damn air. Shaq gonna get it, and there's nothing you can do about it because he's 300 pounds. His arm is long, and like KD is another one. KD 7 feet tall with his wingspan like 7'4". Nobody can stop him because he's so long. And that's the dynamic that Kyle Pitts is going to bring to the offense. There's nothing you can do with him.
And I don't know if you saw this, but Shannon Sharp said that he's working with Kyle Pitts too. He said he's going to be coaching him up a little bit in the second time.
Wow, I didn't know that. That's crazy.
Yeah. Now, if he gets Shannon Sharp work ethic, say goodbye. Goodbye. Say goodbye. And I didn't know he was 245. He weighs 245. I thought he looks kind of lean. I thought he was like 225. He weighs 245. That's gonna be crazy to come in contact, man. As far as a defensive back or a linebacker, whoever they expect to put in his way, they will not be able to stop him. It's gonna be tough. Dirty Birds territory. Thoughts on trading back for defense? In all honesty, man, if we're looking for a defensive player, I have to trade back. I'm not picking a defensive player at 4. If it's between 8 to 16, I'll pick a defensive player. But in the top 4, I don't see no defensive player deserving of that. They were talking about DNs going top 4. I don't see no top 4 DN. I see top 20 DNs, but I don't see a top 10 DN at all. I think you'll be reaching.
The only person that I see, there's only 2 people that I see in this draft worth like taking a chance and on in the top 15.
Mm-hmm.
That's Rousseau. For me, Rousseau is just because of his sheer body. Like he's long and you can work with that. Like you can put him on 80 side and he's just a project player. You can't teach 6'6" with those long, like the wingspan that he got. Like you can't teach that. So I would take him if it was below 10. If it's below 10, I'm taking a shot at Rousseau. Also, Andre Cisco. Like Cisco for me.
The safety, right?
Yeah, the safety. Mm-hmm. Andre Cisco, like the dude is always around the ball. And for me, anytime you got a safety that's always around the ball, I don't care how small he is. You need him on the field. And now you can draft or put a strong safety who's just good at just tackling well. Just that's it. That's all you need a strong safety these days for. It's just for him to tackle well and be in the right position. And having a defensive coordinator like Dean Pease, he's not going to put that strong safety in a position where he's going to fail. He's going to always put him in a position where he can succeed. And that's why it's like I'm taking a shot at Cisco because I know he's going to be around the ball. And with the defensive coordinator who is experienced, who's been in the league over 30 years, I'm getting a playmaker, and I'm getting Cisco, man.
I do like Cisco. I think if we trade back up in the first round, I like that pick.
Mm-hmm.
I can see getting him in the top maybe 22 to 26 range. And he had a lot of interceptions though, didn't it?
Yeah. The dude had like 13 interceptions, like something like that. Some crazy number like that. And that dude, man, look, that dude, like I said, man, I like Trevor Moore, and I think he's a very good safety. I think he's probably complete safety.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, I look for special. I look for safeties that are just playmakers. Cam Chancellor is one that was he just, even though he wasn't the greatest in coverage, he would just always find the ball. That's what I'm talking about. Safeties that always seem to find the ball and make big hits on people. I can't ignore it. You cannot ignore that. And that's what Cisco is. Like, that's what I look for in the safety. You can have guys that are great at coverage. You can have guys that are great hitters like Keanu Neal, but Keanu Neal was not always in the right place.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why
I don't think he got to that stage yet.
Mm-hmm.
It took Chance about like 3 or 4 years before he was able to start making plays on the ball. And Keanu Neal showed that towards the end of the season last year. So since he signed a 1-year deal to the Cowboys, we don't know what will happen next year.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like he could develop another trait to where we say we got to bring him back when we get money. You know what I mean? So that just depends on it. I think John Kelly. Who wins, Dean Pease or Sean Payton? Well, I'm going to tell you now. Dean Pease, after sitting out for a whole year and knowing that he probably should go to Atlanta, he's been studying film on Sean Payton's playbook. And without Drew Brees in that playbook, it's going to be different now. we was forcing Hill to make mistakes to a defense that was struggling. If we just being honest. Dean Pease, I don't think Sean Payton has seen a defense actually blitz like Dean Pease in a couple of years. You know what I mean? He hasn't played a defense like that in a couple of years. And it's kind of crazy because when they played the Bucs, they pretty much dismantled them both games. But then when they played them in the playoffs, it showed a big difference. Drew Brees couldn't get nobody open. I didn't see Michael Thomas. So if Michael Thomas is going to be their main receiver again this year, I don't see Dan Pease being too worried about Michael Thomas. I mean, if we stop AK, it's pretty much going to be a long night for the Saints. I don't trust Taysom.
No, I don't trust either of the quarterbacks. If you want to call Taysom Hill a quarterback, I don't really trust him as a quarterback, and I damn sure don't trust Jameis Winston. He's been a turnover machine. I don't believe in you being able to change who you are. The man is a turnover machine. He's always been that. Even go back to his days in Florida, he had a high turnover rate, even at Florida, because he liked to take chances. You can't change who that is. You can't change who it is. They might have to hand the ball off, but that's about it.
See the comment? Hey, that's crazy, Bruce. Appreciate you, man.
Wow, really?
That's a fact.
Hey, man, look. Hey, man, that man ain't running slants, bro. He ain't no good for nothing. If he ain't running slants, he ain't no good for nothing, bro.
It better be slants or stop routes. I don't see nothing else in his arsenal, in all honesty. That was the only route he was doing versus AJ Terrell this year. He ran stop routes the whole game. So once AJ Terrell gets off his back foot and starts pressing on the football in them routes, goodbye. I don't see that. That's the thing, man. A lot of people always talk about Julio and who's really the best receiver. But if you notice, a lot of receivers that was won before turn out to be trash the next year. Like if they end up jumping over Julio, say if Julio gets hurt for a while, they end up being trash the next year. It happens every time. And you're back to saying, oh, wow, Julio on the hurt hamstring, he was able to get 150 yards.
Come on, man.
Yards. Like that ain't easy to do, man. It's really not. It's not easy to go a whole season averaging over 20 yards per catch.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of receivers can't do that. That you call big time receivers. If it's not Hopkins or Calvin Johnson, I don't really want to hear about those type of receivers. I like Devontae Adams too. Let me stop saying Devontae Adams is one of those type too. He's a
complete route runner. That's what I like most about him. It's like he's not too explosive, but he's an exceptional. He's the new Antonio Brown. That's what I call him. Right? Antonio Brown in his day, he was probably the most complete route runner, not named Julio Jones. So it's like that's why I like Davante Adams. Like the dude can run any type of damn route. And Aaron Rodgers with that type of weapon where you can run any route, got a little speed on him. Yeah, he's the dude is a ball. So I like him also.
I heard they haven't tried to restructure A-Rod's contract. So after this year, he can be a free agent. So I'm anxious to see what Davante Adams does as far as his contract if Aaron Rodgers isn't in the fold anymore. How do you think that would work out as far as him?
Green Bay has just been known for being disrespectful to great players. And I think this is just they do that to Aaron Rodgers, man. Like I will lose all respect for Green Bay. Like they put themselves over players, and that's why I always said with the Atlanta Falcons and why they should let Julio Jones and Matt Ryan decide when they want to hang it up, because we've done a shitty job of appreciating our talent. We let Deion walk for absolutely nothing. We just let him walk because we thought we was a quality organization. We didn't have to pay Deion. That man just walked. We didn't trade Deion. We just let him walk. That right there is sheer arrogance, and we still paying for that today.
Brett Favre.
We just we didn't even try to get that man the help that he needed. We just shipped his ass off to Green Bay. Knew he was a talented quarterback. We shipped him off because we didn't want to deal with it. And way we did Roddy White, I think Arthur Blank exit. I think that's the reason why he went crazy getting all his players, all his money. He know he made a mistake with Roddy White, and ultimately, that decision to choose Kyle Shanahan over. I mean, I thought it was dumb to begin with. To just disrespect Roddy the way they did. Kyle Shanahan. I mean, essentially, they chose Kyle Shanahan over Roddy White. Roddy White has been here for 11 years.
Easily.
Was one of the greatest receivers in our franchise history. And you let a motherfucker who been here 1 year and end up leaving you after the year, after he's fucked the Super Bowl up. So you look like a complete asshole. Hey. And then they tried to put the okey doke on the fans like, oh, we made a mistake. I'm gonna send Roddy out here with Michael Vick so y'all won't boo us. Look, bro, I'm all on the game, man. Look, Falcons need for this to happen. They need for Matt Ryan to stay here. They need for Julio Jones to decide when they want to retire, because we have fucked. Look, how many people know anything about Tommy Nobis?
Not too many.
A lot of people don't even know what he looked like. A lot of people don't even know if he passed away. A lot of people don't know anything. We just seen Terrence Matthews on the show. Said they feel unappreciated.
Jamal Anderson,
Chuck Smith, all these guys said they feel unappreciated. They act like we don't even exist. Mm-hmm. That's coming out the play. So we need Arthur Blank cannot screw this up. He has to let Matt Ryan play his contract out and decide when he wants to. It's best for him and the future of his franchise, because if he screwed this up, guess what? The guy that you are going to draft next year and a year after that and a year after that going to be looking at you like, do I really want to sign this long contract? Do I really want to commit? Because soon as I get injured, man, guess what? I think they're going to be wanting to get rid of me.
Mm-hmm. And we gonna keep it 100. If we gonna keep it 100, man. Roddy White in 2015, Kyle Shanahan's first year, the first game he had 4 catches for 84 yards. You go 3 games, not even throwing it to him, not even putting him in the arsenal to make plays.
Disrespectful.
Then towards the end, Roddy White comes back again, makes a lot of plays, and you still decide, well, hey, he's already gone. It looks like he still has something in the tank. For them 3 games versus the Jaguars versus the Panthers, he looked good. He was making contested catches throughout them games. Mm-hmm. So I didn't understand that, because Roddy White brings an intensity to the team. Everybody loves Roddy White. And when we were on Hard Knocks, you heard how Willie Moore say, "Man, go on, Roddy. I ain't playing with you today." I ain't playing with you today, Roddy. I ain't playing with you today,
Roddy's a
Roddy.
terror, boy. Roddy is a terror, bro. Hey, man.
Come on, man. But hey, let's go ahead and get into this question. Raymond Elder, who do you guys think about? What do you guys think about Arthur Smith versus Dean Allens? Okay, listen, bro. If we just had Mr. Rudy P. Man, Dirk Cutter, be able to get to the red zone on Dennis, why wouldn't Arthur Smith be able to control the clock and get the ball in the end zone? I just feel like that's better. And we got to admit, Saints have lost some pieces now. The guy number 91, he left. He got a contract. They still got two D tackles that's free agents. One of them went somewhere else. They're gonna be rebuilding. I mean, their key is probably Cameron Jordan and Demario Davis, but I feel like Demario Davis is getting close to his end.
Right.
And we saw what happened with Marcus Lattimore. He's over there. I don't know if he's stealing or not, but that's what the word is out. So we don't know how he's gonna be. He's been a bust the past 2 years to me. Since that first year, I haven't seen anything good from him. And he run away from matchups. He is scared of Julio Jones. The past 2 years, he's been lined up against Calvin Ridley and letting the second string corner guard Julio Jones with press coverage and help over the top. I can't trust that, man. So, in all honesty, I'm taking Arthur Smith. Even if I'm a Falcons fan, I'm being realistic. Arthur Smith has shown with less talent, the Titans don't have what we have. And he made plays. So I'm not taking Dennis over Arthur Smith. We got, especially if we get Kyle, if we get Pitts, I'm not taking nobody over him. You gotta call a spade, man. That's not even being realistic. The Saints ain't got it like that no more, man. I don't see it. And
well, go ahead.
My fault.
Well, let's not underestimate what a pass rush can do for you.
Yeah,
a consistent pass rush can an average linebacker look great. We've seen this time and time again. I mean, we signed Ed Hartwell, okay? We signed Ed Hartwell to this big. We gave him a bunch of money because of what the pass rush in Baltimore did for him. We gave this man a massive contract, and then he came here. This man was absolute trash. Absolute trash. So we see what a pass rush can do to any defensive coordinator, any player. Dennis Allen has a great defensive lineman in Cameron Jordan, and make no mistake about it. He's a great. I think he's going to go into the Hall of Fame. He's that great in my opinion. He's one of the most dumb defensive linemen in recent history. But with that, like, I don't see Dennis Allen being consistent. You go back to his days as a Raider, like even here, people don't remember that Dennis Allen actually was a Falcon. He hasn't been consistent. Yeah, he's turned the corner, but I need to see him in multiple places have success, not in just one place. Dean Pease has had success with the Patriots, Titans, and Ravens. So I'm going to go with that just based on his history.
Yeah, I definitely like Arthur Smith. 601 DC said, any chance the Falcons taking the QB? I saw Asia had commented to you, but we can get into that too. But I don't think we going first round, man. They keep talking about Justin Field, and if you watch the breakdown of these guys yesterday, they stated how Justin Field arm talent isn't up to par as far as how he throws his motion. His QB motion just doesn't look good, man. It reminds me of a lot of bad QBs.
And it's something that I didn't catch. It's something that I didn't catch. You probably heard this numerous times from Kstlyz, man. We're gonna do a show later on tonight. We expand on this, but we said this. We said this before. Quarterbacks who tend to have a long motion oftentimes struggle in the NFL because in the NFL it's all about timing. If you don't get that ball out quick, this is the reason why they teach you. And a lot of people make fun of Peyton Manning and Matt Ryan the way they hold the ball. They hold the ball up high like this, so when the motion comes, all right, when the throw motion starts, they don't go all the way down. All right, it stays up, and all you have to do from that point on, all right, you just use your shoulder motion, and typically you're going to get somewhere from here as far as your throw motion is going to be no lower than here, and a high release. You want that release to continue to stay at a high point for two reasons. It gets the ball out quick, and it protects the ball from getting slapped out of your hand by defensive players. Because you got guys like Von Miller who's dipping around dip around the corner, and all he has to do, the ball is already in his sight. Bam! That's a strip sack. So it's two things that bothers me with Justin Fields. His throwing motion is incredibly long, and his mental, like his processing is not consistent. He's had games where he looks absolutely amazing, and that's not going to happen all the time. As a quarterback, you have to be consistent in your being able to process information, and that's something that he's never been consistent. I'm not calling him dumb. I'm saying as a quarterback, we've seen brilliant quarterbacks that hasn't been consistent in being able to process information.
Let's look. I want to speak to this guy real fast because he bugging. Man, that's cap. Justin Fields has great mechanics. People have done breakdown on it. Y'all boys stay hating on Fields. Listen, when they come into draft, they don't show bad plays, first of all. Second of all, we're talking about his motion. That's a key thing. That's a key part of mechanics, if in case you didn't know. Do you not remember Brian Leftwich? You don't remember Brian Leftwich? You don't remember Tim Tebow? They all was good in college, but when they got to the NFL, they struggled because they couldn't get the ball out fast enough. When your motion is that low, it takes a long time for you to wind up. That's what he was trying to explain. If you pay attention and not think that somebody's already hating, you would have noticed that he explained it and showed an example of good mechanics. How many times do you see Matt Ryan get the ball snatched out of his hand? It's rare. It's rare you see that. How many times do you see Dak Prescott get the ball snatched out of his hand, though?
Exactly. Even a short, and this is a perfect example of great mechanics. Even a short quarterback like Russell Wilson, he holds the ball high because he don't want to elongate your motion. When you elongate, if I could make a video, what you do when you hold the ball low, you got to go all the way up and then get the ball out. When the ball is already high, guess what? All I got to do is go backwards. That shortens the throw. It quickens the release to get it out. I'm a former QB. I know this. I was taught this by real NFL players, real college players. All right. My uncle was a ref for the state of Georgia. All right. So I know what I'm talking about.
I'm not comparing him to Tim Tebow, man. He's clearly better than Tim Tebow. We're basically, come on, Chris. You know I'm not comparing that man to Tim Tebow. Come on, bro. I'm not saying that. But
all they hear his name, and when you hear a name, that's all they see. Oh, you saying no, bro? We're saying the motion is comparable to Tim Tebow. He didn't call him Tim Tebow.
And I'll go even further. In college, a QB has a longer time to react to reads. In the NFL, a window can be closed quick. You have 1 or 2 seconds, and with a longer motion, those windows close fast. That's all I'm saying. He will still have to work on his mechanics as far as his throwing motion, but he can be elite if he gets that.
It can be corrected. It can be corrected. That's the issue. We're not saying that's like it's going to stay that, but we're telling you the deficiencies in his game. That's one of the deficiencies in his game, and it's a major problem for a quarterback. Quarterback has to get the ball out quick because Von Miller running the damn 4.2, 4.3. We got these monsters up front. Aaron Donald, they getting to you in half a second, bro. Like, you don't got time to sit back there and wind up throws. All right, that's not going to happen.
That's all I'm saying, bro. And that matters. That definitely matters, Mike. I don't understand people notice that, but that matters. You can tell. You can tell if a QB is good by his motion. Tim Tebow is a champion in college. He won games, but I'm saying it slowed down his reaction time when he got to the NFL, and that's my only concern as far as Justin Fields. I think he has great arm talent. He can throw the ball down the field. I think he sees his reads on occasions, but Ohio State didn't give him a chance to open up the full playbook. Usually when I'm watching them, they're throwing to one side, and then he looks. He's not looking at the whole field. If y'all remember Madden, the worst Madden ever, when they used to have the QB vision on, and it was Peyton Manning and Tom Brady, and then it was Michael Vick. We all know that. Like, that matters when you come to the NFL, man. Them safeties are faster. If the you know the safety and corners are faster, man. And if you take any time to see that read late, it's picked. It's picked. Pick six. Easily.
Yeah, you don't have all the time.
Did you see what John Abraham said?
I did not.
He said that he thinks that we should get Von Miller. We should trade for Von Miller. Basically, kind of like what we did for John Abraham back then when we traded for him. We should do the same thing for Von, because that's the piece we're probably missing as far as our defense.
I don't disagree.
Huh?
I don't disagree. I don't disagree with that at all. I think that's something that, but the issue is not whether we need him. It's just all about the money.
Can we
get
him?
I don't think we have the money for it. Can we do it? That's the biggest thing. Like, can we do it? I think Von Miller is the perfect piece that we need to go alongside of Grady Jarrett to get us back to a Super Bowl. Like, that's what John Abraham is thinking. He's trying to get back to a Super Bowl. So Von Miller is that missing piece on the defense, because we got a corner that I think is going to be an elite corner. It's going to be a very good corner. I want to say elite, but he's going to be a very good corner. AJ Terrell. It's like you can put some guys, some stop gap guys like Eric Harris, he's a quality safety. He's not going to, he's not going to wow you, but he's going to be in the right spot. He's going to be in the right place. So, like, you got the pieces there.
What do you think? What do you think Denver would take for Von Miller, though? I'm looking at maybe a second and a fourth.
Yeah, I'm saying a second and a fourth. I'm not giving up a first round for him, especially after Achilles. Well, I don't know if it was Achilles or ankle. It was a weird injury, what they were saying, but it was a weird injury. I'm giving a second and probably a fourth the following year. I'll give that, but I'm not giving up first.
And I'm sure we have to give him a contract too if we sign him, because I think his contract is up next year. So we'll pretty much be biting a bullet on that to trust that he won't get hurt again. But I know Von Miller is a playmaker, man, and adding him to that defense, you can't but expect AJ Terrell to expand his game, because with a person like that, you're not worried about the QB having the ball for 6-7 seconds. It was times we're watching a QB have 7 to 10 seconds on the field, and that's just outrageous. That's outrageous. You can't have it. And I think a lot of that has happened because a lot of times we have tried to find pieces in the draft and we have failed as far as at that position. And the only time we really have succeeded at that position is when we got John Abraham or when we had Patrick Kearney.
Right.
Like, it's been tough. Vic Beasley had his year, but the thing about Vic Beasley that has me kind of in a shimmer with him is because we were always leading. So you didn't have to run the ball as much. You already know that you got to pass. If a team is up by 15 going into the fourth quarter, of course they're gonna pass a lot more, and that plays to Vic's strength. So I think we have to have somebody in the fold that knows how to get pressure already, that knows what it takes to make plays when the game is on the line. Them young players, it takes time on that defensive line and make plays. Well, I mean, unless you're Grady Jarrett, of course, you know what I mean. But other than that, it's rare. It's honestly rare.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Somebody said, "Do we like the safety out of TCU?" Yeah, I like him.
I do. What he's Morg, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
I like Morg with his body. I don't know what's up with his body. It's something about his body just doesn't sit well. I don't know if it's legs, but he has a weird form that kind of scares me. It's just something like I think he had like a shoulder issue on top of it. So it's like his game, the way he plays the game, he doesn't always protect his body. He's reckless with his body, and for a safety, you can't be reckless with your body, and that's something that scares me with him. It's like you can't be out here running into a damn brick wall, just because you're trying to hit somebody. Like you got to be smart with it, and that's something like you go back to Devontae Freeman. That's something that Devontae Freeman didn't learn, and Ward Dunn tried to get through his head. It's like you got to learn how to protect your body. And a guy like Trevor Moore who's going to run through a damn brick wall, it's like for me, I don't want to draft him because I'm going to be looking for another safety in 2-3 years. I want somebody who knows how to protect himself. Yeah, he's a good player, but when you're reckless on the field, I don't want you on my team. That's just me.
And William Moore had issues with that in the beginning of his career.
Mm-hmm. Yep, he was the same.
He couldn't stay healthy. He'll make plays and then he'll try to tackle somebody too hard and get hurt, concussion or neck injury. Yep. He used to have a lot of those injuries, and we don't need safeties like that. We need safeties that are dependable and reliable. Mm-hmm. That's the key as far as the safety. Because when a safety goes down, it shows on that defensive side of the ball, man.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
When Keanu went down, then Ricardo went down, man, it just was a shit show. If I may be frank, it was a shit show. Oh, yeah. And that gave KZ a chance to make plays, but he also failed a lot too. So
and he was one of those reckless safeties that went out there and he like tried to run through brick wall and run over Ezekiel Elliott and end up getting his ass knocked out. So it's like reckless safeties is something that I don't want any part of.
Nah,
I don't want to call a reckless safety. You got to be able to think.
And a lot of people, they think that by just going out there and playing, you'll learn. You got to watch film for a safety, man.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
You have to be a film guru. You have to be. Because if you don't know what a receiver is used to doing and how he sets you up, how you going to be able to stop him?
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot of receivers, like I know Amari Cooper, when he does stop and goes, he might stop at the 8-yard mark instead of the 10-yard mark.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't know that, he sets you up. He sets you up for the
Yep.
So you have to watch that. Oh, this is a good question, man. I appreciate you asking this again. Alden Smith, a free agent, should we get him? I think if it's under a minimum, I don't mind it. I feel like in a 3-4 system, like he ran with the 49ers, he was a killer. So if he's able to stand up, oh my God, good night. Good night. And I think he'll be willing to take a pay cut, for this 1 year since it's already down to build it back up. He had 5.5 sacks versus a trash defense.
Right. Right. Yeah, I'm taking that deal all day. Like if that's something that I'm actually watching for and I'm looking for because he's still out there and he's pretty much gotten over his issues. And like even if he hasn't, it's worth the investment because he's still in a transition mode as far as we don't know who our defensive end is going to be outside of Fowler. And being that he reconstructed his deal where he's not going to be here next year. That last year has been voided. You need a defensive end, and we're going to invest in one. But right now, bringing in Alden Smith, man, for a year. Why not?
Mm-hmm.
Why not? Until another guy develops, another guy steps up, whether it's Marlon Davidson or Kaminsky, somebody steps up. Jacob Tuimeras, like until someone steps up, I'm going out and signing him to $2-3 million. Easy. He maybe 3 or 4 sacks. I know that. I ain't got to pay $38 million to get 3 sacks. I can get paid $3 million to get 3 sacks out of.
Hey, GG Zergoft, Falcons need a real safety, not converted 5'9" corner. And this is the fact. That's why we went out to get Eric Harris. Eric Harris is a 6'2" safety.
Right.
He's a 6'2" safety. I like him, man. His vision is out there, and he's going to be a team leader. And he's a humble player. He comes from nothing. He comes from having to work for everything he gets. He's a walk-on just like Ricardo was. So that means he's going to be a film junkie. And that's what you need, like I state. That's what you need, man. And he's more quicker than Ricardo is at his age now.
Mm-hmm.
He has a quicker step than Ricardo did last year. So I think that's a major upgrade based on the defense and the defensive coordinator of who we have in the fold. All we need is 2 pieces on defense, man, and it will change the dynamic. We were stopping teams for 2-3 quarters easily in that last 7 or 8 games. We were stopping teams a lot. If you didn't notice.
They got a lot of stops. They just
Exactly.
couldn't finish a lot of plays because the safety play was horrible, and they just weren't consistent getting after. That's why they had to blitz more because the pass wasn't consistent. So I like one thing. I always say this, man, and this is just simple as hell, and a lot of people just don't think about this. But who the hell is scared of a 5'9", 180, 90-pound safety? All right, let's be real. We got these guys like goddamn looking like Julio Jones, 6'4", 220 pounds, and you looking at Ricardo Allen, who is 5'9", 5'10", soaking wet as your safety. Who in the hell is afraid of him? Eric Harris is 6'2", 6'1", 6'2", 220 pounds. That right there strikes fear in smaller receivers coming across. Anybody that's coming across that middle, just for his sheer size alone, you know that like this is a good chance this dude sitting at 6'2", 6'4", 220 pounds is gonna knock me out. So he's gonna get short-handed on them things. Like ain't nobody getting short-handed looking at Ricardo Allen. Like, yeah, man, you sit your little ass down. That's probably exactly what they're thinking.
Hey, and we can't forget Eric Harris kind of put your boy Slant Man on ice.
Oh, right.
Hey, he tried to do a little stop right in the middle of the field. Oh my God, Eric folded that man up like a nasty race car driver. Come here.
Yep.
Oh, you finna catch the ball? He closed his eyes, guys. I got the picture. I'm gonna post it next time we come up here. His eyes were closed because he got hit so hard.
Mm-hmm. And that's what I'm talking about. It's about fear, man. Sometimes you need these physically, and that's why I said earlier with this Falcons team, man. I said this over and over again. When the Falcons let Rashid Bateman go, I thought that was one of the biggest mistakes they did for that defensive line because not only did he free up space for Grady Jarrett, but he freed up space for Vic Beasley on a lot of plays. All they would do is just put that big guy, 6'6", 340 pounds, just put him all across the line. And the offense, like he's so big, hold his hands up, and you gotta put 2 or 3 guys. You always have to have 2 guys around Rashid Bateman because he's gonna physically dominate any guard, any tackle, just physically. He's gonna yeah. That's himself. He sacked Aaron Rodgers just with a damn hand. He hit Aaron Rodgers with his hand and got a damn sack. The dude
He did like this. Took her ass down. Killed A-Rod. A-Rod's like, how the hell he tackle me? Get your little ass down somewhere, man. And Rashid, listen, Rasheed brought that energy too. Rasheed was like an angry fella when you look at him. That was one thing about Rasheed. He always looked angry. The only issue Rasheed had was not being in shape. That was the only thing with Rasheed. He didn't care about running enough. He didn't care about eating correctly. That was his. Hey, appreciate you, John Kelly, my man. 50 grand. It just came to my phone. Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you, man.
Man, y'all go ahead and go over to Twitch TV, man. Got a lot of Atlanta Falcons content. You got some other stuff coming for you. So, man, go ahead and check that out, man. Check his channel out. We're trying to get him up to that 200, 300 mark.
Oh, I hit 200.
Oh, you hit the 200?
I hit 200 this week, man.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah, I'm trying to get to 300 now, man. Let's get to 300 now.
Keep on hustling, man. Keep on putting them videos out. Y'all keep subscribing.
Exactly. Appreciate that, my brother. Appreciate you for shouting me out as well, man. People need that. And as long as we helping each other, the sky's the limit. You gotta look at it, man. You gotta look at it. Somebody else had asked something. Oh, okay, here, Reggie 2K. Can Alden Smith stay out of trouble is the question, but yes, sign him to a 1-year prove-it deal. I didn't hear anything about Alden Smith getting in trouble this year, though, with the Cowboys. So I don't think it'll be any other issues as far as that. I'm pretty sure he knows, like, he had a chance to be a well-paid player before he got into trouble. So I don't think he's on any path of trying to keep messing that up anymore. I think that'll be a key signing. And especially with him playing with his back against the wall and he got to make plays, he's going to be an attribute. He would definitely be an attribute.
I'm going to be honest. I don't give a get in trouble. Get in trouble. I am sick and tired of these dang gone choir boys. We need some angry criminals. I'm just gonna be honest. We need some damn criminals on this damn team. We need somebody to get arrested. I'm tired. I'm sick and tired of looking at Ricardo Allen. I'm sick and tired of looking at all these little choir boys on this damn team. We need somebody to step up and cuss a motherfucker out and teeter on the edge of being dirty and just being a disgusting human being. Like, when the last time we really had that? Every time we turn around, we politically correct. We'll get them next time, guys. We didn't get what we came out for, and we'll try hard next time. No, look, I need somebody that's gonna pull a Mike Tyson. I'm gonna eat his goddamn kids. I'm gonna slice them up. Look, I need some dirty talk. I need somebody to bite some damn ankles. I need somebody to put the motherfucker in a Kurt Angle master lock or something. I need something like that on the defensive side of the ball. I am sick and tired of these damn choir boys. So, Alden Smith, please come here. Get your ass arrested. Maybe that'll change the way this defense, the way teams look at this defense. Because they soft. Dan Quinn is a soft-ass defense. Mike Smith, the defense wasn't very good, but we was far from soft. They knew they was going to come to play when they played the Mike Smith defense. When you look at that Dan Quinn defense, that damn defense is absolutely soft. Period. Point blank.
It was just Neil, and he's not a shit talker. He's just a dude that goes out and make his plays.
And that's it. That's all you had. That's all you had was Neil. But that's it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and we need that, man. To be honest, the only person we had for a decade really was Roddy White. That was a shit talker that got
that's it.
He decided about talk shit to him. That's the type of player we need. We haven't had that in a long time. Most people, man, they just go out, get their money, play, and they talk when they make plays, but they ain't like a shit starting party. They don't act like that. Deion Jones is cool, laid back. Fourier cool, laid back. Grady is cool. Like, they all just relaxed players. They need somebody that's gonna get in their face and talk dirty to them to get them to play.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And I'm hoping that Terry comes from New Orleans. He brings that, not bounty hunter, but that intensity is seen.
Right.
I'm not gonna say bounty hunter because that's what they were doing.
I don't care, man. Come here, get arrested. No, I don't know about the bounty hunter. We don't need no pigs taken away. We don't need to be fined.
They took a lot of money for them jokers.
Yeah, I'm good on that one, man. Like I said, I agree, man. We're gonna go in depth more later on tonight, man. Man, it's another good show. Been an hour, and y'all do it for us. So, T-Man, you want to get to another question or just call? We're gonna call it right now.
We're gonna go ahead and call it, man, because I'm off my lunch break. I got to get back to work. But I appreciate Mike for joining. Talking real Falcons talk with me, and I appreciate all the fans. I know some of y'all are at work watching the content as we speak. I really appreciate y'all, man. It's been a movie early during the day. Make sure y'all check out later on today with Kstlyz and Mad Mike the Scientist. They're going to get into some more good talk. Make sure y'all are locked in. Hit that subscribe button so you can get the content right when it's happening, man. It's going to be live. Trust me. And let's not forget about what we got coming up next month. The draft is coming. AFN has already snuck out there and said we're going to do a live talk show. So make sure y'all are locked in for that, because I'm sure we all gonna be tripping on that day if something happened that we don't want to happen. So make sure y'all are tuned in for that. Also subscribe to my channel, Twisted Torch TV. Appreciate y'all, man. What'd you say, Mike? What'd you say, Mike? I couldn't hear you.
Oh, that's it, man. Oh, hold on, shit. But yeah, my bad. But yeah, that's it.
Appreciate y'all, man. Let us know how y'all feel in the comments, man. Make sure y'all hit that subscribe button. Also, subscribe to Twisted Torch TV. There's more content on the way. Subscribe to Drew Talk Sports, Kstlyz, Miss Maggie. Subscribe to all the channels, man. We got a lot of heat on the way, man. We appreciate the fans. We appreciate everybody that's tuned in. Shouts out to you, Twisted Torch TV, AFN, Mad Mike Scientist.